and welcome to another episode of The Small Guy on Main Street. Here, where I interview small business owners, entrepreneurs, right, and have them share the story of how they got to this point in business, right? Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and follow. If you got any value of this, if you're feeling it, you're not feeling it, let me know, right? I mean, I'm improving it as I go, right? But for sure, thank you very much for tuning in, right? Now, this is for small business owners and entrepreneurs, right? Now, if yourself is one, get in contact with me, right? Tell your story. I want to hear it. Many other people want to hear it as well, right? But if you aren't one and you know of one, right? And I know there's plenty of people out there that are trying to start the hustle, get in contact with me, right? Every story is great. Every story is unique, right? My job is to get your story out there, right? Give you this platform, right? So just hit me up, Instagram, TikTok, email, whichever way you wish, right? Get in contact with me, right? I'll put more information on the description. Now, this interview is with Cesar Moreno with Stinky Tails LLC. His business is a dog waste removal service, right? That services mostly homes, right? And as the name says, dog waste removal, right? Services LA area. You get in contact with him to see if he services your area where you're at. Hopefully in LA. And it's a very unique service, right? Service that started off as one of the many that did in the pandemic era, right? Just a few years ago. You remember those days? But a great interview, right? He jumped in, he saw it, the opportunity, he went for it. Very great interview, right? As always, hit the like, right? If you found any value of this, right? And thank you for your ongoing support. And please enjoy the interview. Okay, well, hello, friends. Today I have here Cesar Moreno with Stinky Tails LLC. How are you?
Pretty good, doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, man.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Oh, my pleasure's mine, believe me.
Right on.
How's the weather treating you?
Weather's been a little rough this week. A lot of rain.
Yeah.
Friday was a little tough, but rain or shine, we got to pick up the dog poop
Mm-hmm.
because that's what we do.
Yeah, for sure. No, yes. Um, there's right now the rain. Is it affecting you much? I mean,
No, it doesn't really rain much out here, so
has been strong.
not strong enough to where it's gonna keep me at the house. It's more drizzles here and there.
Yeah.
And if it rains, we could always stay inside the truck. Not a problem. It's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah, hold it off
The
for a little
hustle
bit.
never stops. The grind never stops.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Tell me real quick. Obviously, you're a service business, right?
Yes.
And you go to people's homes. Any scary, strange, funny moments that you could recall you want to share?
Mm, scary moments. Possibly getting bitten by a couple dogs here and there. That normally happens a couple times. Meeting the dog is always something that my technicians or I get fearful of.
Mm-hmm.
Customers say that their dogs are very friendly,
Uh,
but they're very friendly with them.
uh
It's a different story with when a stranger comes into the home and that friendly dog turns on you,
Yeah.
or those times when that friendly dog is friendly and all of a sudden just starts not liking you for some reason.
Hmm.
Um, and those are probably one is more of the scariest moments I could say. There's a lot of fun moments at Stinky Tails while we're on the field, but
Yep.
scary moments I would say biggest fear of mine is getting bit. I haven't got bit yet in 5 years. I'm gonna knock on wood, wherever wood's at.
We're in there, right? I think.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, biggest fear is getting bit. And
Right.
I've had a couple encounters where it got pretty close.
What was so far? What's been the biggest dog? Like,
That almost bit us,
or
or
I guess that interactively, or you have serviced or any
biggest breed of dogs. Great
Great
Danes,
Danes?
King Corsos are pretty big.
Mm.
Reach about 120, 140 pounds.
What
They
What-
poop like
I
horses.
was gonna say what they leave behind is
Yeah, what they
heavier.
leave behind is pretty crazy. So big dogs,
Uh,
it's probably the biggest breed
hmm.
we service, or we have customers that have those dogs.
Hmm.
King Corso, I would say, Great Dane for sure.
Okay, good, good. I was how was last year for you? I'm in business perspective.
Well, we've been saying that business has been picking up, obviously, because we're in the dog poop business. We actually business is it's been good. It's been growing steadily, but surely growing. I
Hmm.
think it has to do a lot with the marketing. The concept's really not known yet.
Hmm.
We are a professional dog waste removal company
Right.
that provides weekly service, but just getting understanding to those customers or potential customers that this service exists
Hmm.
has been one of the more challenging things for us, because it's not like a coffee shop or a nail shop where everyone knows
Yeah.
what it is.
Right. Right. Okay.
No one knows what dog waste removal is. Well, they're sure they'll know soon, hopefully, right? That's what the whole point of us being in services. We want
Yeah.
the masses to know what we do.
Of course. Now, of course, it's Stinky Tails, right? And obviously, you can imagine, and it has to do with dog poop.
Correct.
Who thought of the name?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the name Stinky Tails. I wanted something funny, It was
Mm-hmm.
and
Playful, for sure.
yeah, something that people could just make fun of or
Yeah.
think catchy name,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing too serious. There was other names out there that I had thought about, and I thought Stinkies was just
Yeah.
amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
I just ran with it, and we registered it as Stinky Tails LLC, and people seem to like the name,
Yeah.
or it's catchy, I guess, from
It
what I
is.
hear.
It is. No, it does. It does not. Okay. It doesn't sound too professional, and in the sense that you may even question like, what do they really do?
Yeah.
Like yours is really straightforward, direct, playful, and it's catchy. Like
Mhm.
I think that's perfect,
I thought dogs, cats, tails.
right?
All right. That's I just and I thought, well, what if I'm gonna pick up dog poop? Well, smelly poop, smelly
Hmm.
tails. I was like,
Hmm.
no, smelly poop. So I just came up with stinky tails somehow or another. It took us a couple months to come out with a good name, and we just stuck to it.
Great. Okay, so you've been at this, you say about 5 years,
Correct.
right? So that puts you somewhere around 2018.
2018. Yes, that's how
20,
we began.
okay. Okay, so how did this originate?
Well, I had a full time job, you
Mm-hmm.
would call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I traveled a lot on the road. My wife was pregnant, and I had been gone for a month. My sister in law had agreed to pick up the dog poop. Like, well, when I showed up, I walked barefoot a lot because I like kickboxing, and I had my punching bag under the tree. Well, I think she didn't pick up all the dog poop. Well, now I know she did it.
Mm-hmm.
She must have picked it up the day before, because I stepped on dog crap or dog poop
Mm-hmm.
by accident barefoot. And
Mm. Yeah.
I said, how? Wow, I'm not lazy. I wasn't around. It's not like I didn't want to pick it up. My wife's pregnant. She definitely couldn't do it. How many other people are out there that are busy or not at home as often, or who might just need the service? Started looking it up, and there wasn't really much anyone in town that was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife had spoke about opening an ice cream shop. It was one of our, I guess, dreams. And we looked into a couple of franchises that were being offered, and they were asking for 80, 90K.
Yeah.
And my mind went wild, and I thought, well, 140,000 possibly just to even start.
Yep.
And like I said, my wife was pregnant, so I kind of thought about it, and when I did my research and I saw that there was really no competition in town, I said, let me look into it more. So I kept researching, and I found out that it was kind of popular in the Midwest or in the East Coast. And I guess it snows out there, or well, it does snow,
Yeah.
and people don't want to pick up their dog poop in blizzard
Oh,
temperatures,
right.
so they call these pooper scoopers to come pick up their dog poop. But that's how it originated. I stepped on dog poop, and we were, like I said, we were going to start with the ice cream shop. So I pitched my wife on the idea, and thank God that she went along with it. As crazy as it sounded, because I did have a full time job as
Mm-hmm.
a public speaker for a big corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So we began in 2018. The year of the dog, interestingly enough,
Yeah.
was 2018 was the year of the dog.
Yeah. Well.
My daughter was born in January, which is the beginning of the year too. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
great things happened for us in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
The birth of my daughter, the start of the business, um, and that's how we began in 2018. Just by me stepping on dog poop by accident, came up with the idea. Said, well, what's the demand of this? And I didn't want to really have any competition.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to compete with anyone else. I didn't know if it was going to work or not.
Right.
And it pretty much started as a joke because I had a job. This was just kind of something that we did
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to create a business. And like I said, my wife was pregnant, and that's what it was.
Well, okay. So you had a job, and I guess life was okay, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
life was going great. Like, it
okay,
pays very well.
right. So you were good. Now, what was it that you're looking for? Just you sound like you wanted your own thing, right? You wanted
Yeah, we
your
just
own
wanted to be business owners. It was
business
our
owner,
dream to
huh?
be our own bosses,
Right.
not to work for someone else or be clocking in, I
Right.
would say. But we never thought it was going to be picking up or servicing homes, picking up dog poop professionally as
Hmm.
a weekly service,
Mm-hmm.
daily service, every other day, or
Mm-hmm.
bi-weekly service. I still continue to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
When we began the business, it wasn't like I just went all in.
Right.
It was just my side money, my, oh, let's go
Yeah.
on vacation, let's go to Vegas money.
Right.
uh and it was the beginning. It was really hard because I didn't know anything about marketing it.
Mm.
I didn't know what to post, whether it was a dog or whether it was a nasty picture of dog poop or a video of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's been the possibly the hardest part
Mm-hmm.
over the last 5 years, to find out there isn't really a script in
Of
this
course.
poop industry
Mm-hmm.
where whatever works for someone else is going to work for me. We're just in different markets, and LA is a very unique market.
Yeah.
And to try to trigger or capture everyone, it's a little harder.
Right. No, I see it. But so that okay, so that's a lot going on for that year. Like obviously, when you're a new
Yeah,
parent,
new
you
parent.
are already concerned about how things are gonna go with this child, right? Like,
Correct.
and then you have a business now. You said baby steps,
Yeah,
right?
baby steps, baby
Right, baby
steps,
steps.
baby
So you
steps.
started doing it at free time,
Correct.
right? But eventually it picked up, right?
Yes.
When did you go full on with this?
In 2020, obviously the job I was doing in public speaking was gone because everything was shut down. The country had shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting enough, I didn't know what was going to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I had this little part time job that was paying us a couple grand, and I could survive off of it.
Yeah,
So in 2020, I went all in, and how they say, threw all my app, put all the eggs in one basket, right?
that's tough.
And for some reason, everyone started adopting dogs during the pandemic.
Wow,
Yeah,
I see that.
a lot of folks started adopting dogs because they were at home more,
Yes.
and I guess they needed company, or the kids wanted a dog, and it was like the perfect time. People were fixing their homes, and it just there was a lot of sadness going on, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
deaths, but in 2020 is when I really hit it off, and
Mm-hmm.
I started just for some reason the phone just started blowing up. I went from having maybe like 30 customers in 2 years, slow growth obviously, to
Mm-hmm.
possibly like 60 customers in just 1 year.
Yeah.
So it drastically just grew.
Yeah.
And I guess people had more time to be on social media, and
Yeah.
there's a
All
lot
that.
of, including myself, kind of got bored. You could be on YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
people were starting to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we went full board on 2020. We haven't really looked back since. So you could say it's been solid 2 years that this is all we do. We live off of my mom. My wife's a stay-at-home mom,
Mm-hmm.
so for me, it feels pretty good just to know that I'm picking. Well, we're servicing homes and we're surviving, and it is just working out for some reason. It could be a lot of factors, marketing. It could be our hard work, the way we clean. It could be everything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's working right now, and it seems that the concept now, compared to 2018, now people know what the service is,
Mm-hmm.
or those that didn't hire us back in 2018 are now hiring us.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they got a better understanding, and obviously the social media helps,
Correct.
right?
Social media has definitely helped out a
And
lot.
word of mouth,
Correct.
right?
Word of mouth. We've done pretty much everything for marketing. We've
Mm-hmm.
been to dog events.
Mm-hmm.
We've done special events for the city of LA where there was like 500 dogs our first year, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a little overwhelming, but we've done a lot of projects that people have invited us because they feel like the business is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
They've never heard of it, or they don't even know what the full service is
Yeah.
or what it entitles.
Yeah.
But we just don't pick up dog poop. We one of our biggest, I guess, upsells or reasons why people call us is to eliminate urine orders.
Yeah. They do
So you would
smell.
think we're a dog waste removal company, but no one could pick up urine.
Mm-hmm.
So we disinfect and we sanitize. It's a service that we offer as well. So I would consider it a backyard cleanup for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not for the human. It's also for the sanitation of the dog. Dogs get sick. A lot of homeowners have pets that come inside their homes. So I would say no one really wants their dog stepping on poop and then coming inside the house.
Yeah. Besides that, right? Obviously, you could scrape it off, but you're gonna leave something behind,
Yeah,
right?
there's always just
And
depends if it's grass, there's concrete, there's patios, there's decks.
mm-hmm.
So we do if it's when it's needed, we do wash it off.
Mm-hmm.
But the sanitation part of it, the
Mm-hmm.
urine, that's really what I guess has really worked for us. Be that we do offer great products that kill parvo, giardia, which they're dog diseases that could affect. We service a lot of homes, so we have to keep our dustpans or our we call them our
Yeah.
buckets clean.
Right.
So we have to wash those every house because
Mm-hmm.
of one of the dogs sick,
Mm-hmm.
that disease could transfer to the other homes. So it's just not picking up dog poop. There's more
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities that we have as a professional pet waste removal company. Washing our shoes.
Yeah.
It it there's more to our job. One of our biggest fears that you asked me earlier was a dog getting out on us.
Mm-hmm.
Closing the gate. People
Oh,
don't think about that.
yeah.
We walk into folks' homes, so we got to make sure, or the customer has to trust us that we're going to lock that
Of
gate.
course.
So that's rule number one. Make sure we lock that gate.
Mm-hmm.
The way out, lock that gate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's now that of course being in the service, right? You deal with people, but I mean, this is right their pet, and
Correct.
right, it's a cherished is a cherished friend of the
It's
family. I
They're
mean,
actually members of the family, not even
members
a
of the
pet anymore. A
no,
lot
no,
of
no, right,
Yeah, they're members of the family,
right.
and I'm gonna say it's the pet industry is really big.
Mm-hmm.
There's groomers, there's dog walkers, but there's not many. I guess the term they would call us pooper scoopers. That's not pooper scoopers a brand,
Yeah, but
but pet dog
some,
waste removal companies. It's something that's gonna catch on. I'm pretty sure soon.
yeah,
There's gonna be
it's
a
gonna
lot of
be.
people that are gonna possibly copy my ideas, which is perfectly fine. In
Mm-hmm.
Spanish they say, "El sol sale para todos."
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Oh,
I
we're here
welcome
on
the
that one.
competition,
Yeah.
so can't do nothing about it.
Nope.
There's a lot of dogs in my city. I think if I was to
Mm-hmm.
market it right, I could stay in my city and never have to leave it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, of course, it depends on your mission and your goals. Like
Correct.
obviously, you'll be limited to those that clientele. But if you ever wanted to grow further, then you have
Yeah,
to
there's
expand.
always room for expansion.
Right. But like you say, I mean, as long as you know and you realize that,
Yeah, yeah, for
right?
sure.
That's good. Um, but yeah, so where I was going is that they're members of the family, and some are expensive. Don't get me wrong, right? Certain breeds are more expensive than others,
Oh yeah.
and regardless, now if they get out and something happens to them, or that's on you because you now have to chase them down, try to get them back in, and that's going to be a whole different matter.
Yeah, that's
It could get
something we
really
don't really
worse.
want to deal with.
Hmm.
So if the dog's an escape artist or
Right.
dogs are aggressive, like that's stuff that we have to find out prior to even showing up.
Hmm.
So the customer is really trusting us with their loved ones. I would say their pets.
Right.
And so it's something we really have to be careful of.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so when you got started, 2018, what what did you know and what did you have to get better at, right? In business perspective, right? Because obviously, okay, first was the name. You thought of the idea, got the name,
Got it.
you filed it, but what are the other steps that you weren't unaware and you were like, oh man, you know, I need to do this and use.
I would say possibly like product. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really anyone talking about. I go back to like the urine smells and the poop smells.
Oh, just
That
more
that
services.
the scooping was pretty fairly easy.
Mm-hmm.
But products, there wasn't really anyone that was saying, "Hey, we use this product to eliminate this." The research part,
Research.
So when I first started, I started with product that Simple Green made,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 5 years later, I'm using a different product
Mm-hmm.
that's, you could say, possibly works better for me. And the clientele that I have now, or as I've grown, has requested me to get certain products like
Okay.
that kill Giardia or Parvo, because not only do I have customers who just have pets, but
Mm-hmm.
we also work with breeders.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, some of these dogs are expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but some of these dogs don't have value to
All
my
right.
customers.
Yeah.
To you, it could be $100 dog, but to them, it's worth 1 million.
All right. Yeah.
And you could say, well, it's not even a full breed dog, but
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that now that that's something I would have wished I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have been saving a lot of money.
No, but you had to
I
start
had
and you had to
well, we had to
learn. And
start, and
like you said, nobody was there to really guide you through
there was
this.
no one really
Yeah.
to guide me.
Yeah.
There was other people on the other side of the country, but not my market. Everyone's market was different.
Yes.
Dallas is Dallas,
Yeah.
LA's LA,
Yeah.
New York's New York.
Mm-hmm.
So what worked for them didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
They were knocking on doors and leaving flyers. That doesn't work in LA. People are social media. Um, if
Yeah.
it's not on
Yeah.
the news, it's not on social media, it's not happening.
Yeah. You
And
gotta.
it's just LA,
Mm-hmm.
the LA market.
Okay. Right. Um. Did you create a business plan?
There was really no structure till 2020. It was just kind of like, we have another
Just
customer,
going
and
with it, huh?
yeah, there's now we have there's actually been structured probably since 2020 where Tuesdays through Fridays we have certain routes.
Hmm.
Certain cities are only covered on certain days.
Hmm.
So now it's really structured where we could service 35 customers on a Tuesday, and it could
Hmm.
just be the city of Downey and Long
Hmm.
Beach.
Hmm.
And if you call me, say you're in Monterey Park, I'm definitely not going to show up till Wednesday.
Hmm.
So that'd be another probably important part I wish I knew. The scheduling, because
Yeah.
when we start, I had to get a call from like Carson,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, I'll drive to Carson, and
Yeah.
I live in Downey. And then I had to get a call from Monterey Park, and they
Right.
say, hey, can you service me on Thursday?
Mhm.
So the beginning part was really hard.
Yeah.
That I guess just I was so spread out, and there's points where I probably just wanted to give up and say, "Damn, this doesn't even make any sense."
But of course, a part, okay,
A part
part
of me,
is it was unorganized,
it
and
wasn't that it wasn't organized. It was we were just starting, so we were gonna
um,
take whoever was calling us.
that's
Now, if you call me from Carson, you're a Tuesday. If you call me from Monterey Park, you're a
yeah,
Wednesday.
the area.
But the gaps are already filled in.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now, 5 years later, we service 80, 90 customers.
Hmm.
We're if you're in a certain area, I'm probably going to be nearby.
Hmm.
But before it was like Carson, Monterey Park, Downey, and it's all
Yeah.
spread out.
Yeah.
The profit margins weren't even there.
Yeah. Then you were traveling
We were
further.
just I was just learning, and there's a lot of frustrations. You
Hmm.
ask me what I wish I knew now,
Yeah.
but it's always a learning process. Now, if I was to teach my business to someone else, there's probably a better way of doing it, but at least I know where you
Right.
should say, hey, no, customer, I'm not going on Wednesday, versus the Tuesday that I was supposed to be there because I was just there yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's really a learning process.
Of course. Of course. In any given week, how many miles do you travel?
About 150 maybe at most.
Really?
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And okay,
But
but let me say, as when you service, you have everybody together, or is it separate groups doing separate routes, so to speak?
we did have at one point two different groups spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just me. It's just I'm the driver, and I take my guys with me.
One route, yeah.
But that works out for me, but it wouldn't work out for other scoopers that do it because they don't think that it makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it makes perfect sense because we're just moving. There's three guys moving. I see the gardeners doing it,
Yeah.
and those guys are knocking houses. It's a numbers game, and
Yeah.
we're about numbers, and
Yeah.
it really works out for me. So it gives me time to record them for marketing, or them record me, or while they're picking up the dog poop or deodorizing, I'm texting the next customer, we're headed on your way. So
Mm-hmm.
it works for me. I don't know if it's going to work for everyone that does what I do,
Yeah.
but the goal is to have different drivers on different days or on the same day once it grows to where we need it
That's
to grow
right. Yeah.
or wherever it heads.
Right. Okay. No, that's fine. But yeah, that's 150 a week. That was low, I think.
Yeah, well, we on a Tuesday if I'm servicing 30 homes, half of them are in my city in Downey.
So
So I
then,
don't leave my city for the first 3-4 hours.
wow. Yeah, I
I
see.
could go for a restroom break,
Mm-hmm.
go to my house. At any time, the benefit for me in owning this business is I can always go home.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in Long Beach, I'm always 10-15 minute drive away from home.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in Monterey Park, same thing, Inglewood. Just depends where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my radius is about 10 miles at most from where I live.
Yeah,
So
that's why.
the better I structure it as we have,
Mm-hmm.
before I was pretty spread out. Now that we're
Mm-hmm.
structuring it, now it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you call me from Downey, I'm probably going to service your house on a Tuesday or a Friday.
Yeah. No, I see.
So the
I see.
mileage is really low now.
Yeah, strategically.
Strategically, it all makes sense
Yes,
now.
that part, right.
Before, no. Before,
Mm-hmm.
I was probably driving 200 miles, but I was so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Or just not servicing certain parts of town that don't make any sense logistically.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we want to make money, it doesn't make any sense if I'm driving a 30-minute drive to
Mm-hmm.
Palos Verdes
Yeah.
and I only have one customer.
Right. Yeah.
So then at that point, I'm losing money.
Right. No, I think what you're saying. I see. Then okay, as of now, right? You do a lot of social media, right?
Correct.
You're posting every
Yeah, I
day.
think
How many times a day?
I typically post anywhere from 3 to 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Normally, like say Tuesdays and Fridays are my busiest days, so I'm able to get more content.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's days where I don't post 4 to 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends,
Yeah.
If I get good content or I see something that the customers might want to see or I've never filmed, I'm right now. I'm at the stage where I'm just trying out different stuff, different angles. Some people DM me and say, "Hey, we want to see more poop videos of actual poop and flies in it." And I'm like, "Whoa!" Something like out of Dr. Pimple Poppers.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Mm-hmm.
are into that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and others say, "Hey, we want to see more dogs. Can you show me that
Mm-hmm.
deodorizing video or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot?"
Yeah.
So I would say on the days that we're consistently posting 3 to 4 times different content, I try to keep up with my stories at least every day.
Yeah. Do you have okay, now that's all on you, right? You're posting, you're recording, you're doing
Correct.
that. That's your self marketing on that. Do you have any paid marketing that you're doing?
We do a lot of like sponsored ads on Instagram where
Okay.
that'll get me or generate leads.
Right.
So even that's an art in itself
Mm-hmm.
because you could post the video, but you got to target certain cities or
Clientele.
certain people. Well, you would say searches.
Mm.
We all have interest.
Okay.
So it would be, I like baseball, I like hockey. So not everyone that's on Instagram is always looking at dogs. So that's the difficult part.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even close to mastering it,
Yeah.
but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. It's very hard.
Times of changing,
Mm-hmm.
what I like as a 40-year-old man, 20-year-olds might not be
Of
watching.
course.
So a lot of we call them hashtags or keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always work in progress. What worked yesterday is not going to work tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to keep it pretty simple, and start come up with unique hashtags, I guess, for
Right.
for people at least try to catch their attention.
Yes. Well, social media, it evolves and then it changes things up. So then, okay, well, how did it change and what I need to relearn, so to speak, right?
Correct.
Because not too long ago they did the reels on Instagram, and that's a whole new ball game. Now you got to
Yeah.
understand how that works, and once you
The reels actually worked for me pretty well
right, but
versus just the post.
yeah, of course, I'm saying as that changes, then you gotta almost relearn it or see how you gotta tweak it,
Correct.
right? And then of course when they update it again in another 3 years, what new feature, then you gotta relearn, so to speak, for now. But and maybe then at one point you might have a social media manager, but for
Well,
now.
there's a couple of things that are in the works,
Mm-hmm.
that as the company has been growing, we have more employees and CPAs and
Mm-hmm.
even the way of collecting even the way we're gonna charge our customers, everything's just revamping,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just part of growth. Sometimes it could be lack of money or just lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes both, but in my case, I have family and friends who support the business and even customers who are always willing to share. So I'm always open minded and
Mm-hmm.
always listening to what's new
Mm-hmm.
and what could help the business grow. But definitely our goal is to be a household name, at least in LA,
Yeah.
and to grow with more employees.
Right.
I love actually what I do. So it's not like I don't want to be in the field. I like being in the field.
Mm.
Doesn't really gross me out. When others see poop, I see money.
All right.
Every poop's maybe 25 cents, $1. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Others might not, but
Hmm.
this is what we're doing right now.
On your social media, right, you have a Google Forms, right, that you could
Correct.
do quotes, right? And,
Correct.
do you find people using that?
Actually, a lot.
Okay, okay. So just on one intake, right? I just wanna, because I had something on my Instagram, right, to like for potential candidates, I guess,
Okay.
right? So I had a form there, and I was like, well, if it helps the process, right? But then after a while, right, I was like, man, I think it's too professional, too much. Maybe because, like you're saying, understanding who you're serving, and if they do more on the DM,
Yeah.
then that's what you're gonna get, right? And I didn't find it as effective,
Okay.
but on your end,
Yeah,
it's
it's been really
working.
effective.
Hmm.
Some That's kind of where I've had to learn the marketing side is
Hmm.
that not everyone likes the same thing.
Hmm.
Some people like TikTok, others like Instagram, others like Facebook, some like calling us, some people just text us. So with that Google inquiry that comes in,
Hmm.
it's opened up I guess more customers or more inquiries. I've noticed
Yeah,
just a different avenue. It has worked for us for sure.
yeah. It gives them the opportunity to reach you.
Well, most people are finding us through Google,
Mm.
and then they'll go on our Instagram, or they'll find us. They'll search dog poop or waste
Hmm.
removal or whatever, and we pop up pretty much on top
Mm.
in LA. So then they'll go on our TikToks or our Facebook accounts, and that's kind of sometimes where they would send us the DM or question about the business.
Hmm.
But it's working for us.
Okay,
It really is.
that's good. You self-proclaim as a master of poop, or what you
No, the king of dog poop.
keeping a dog
Yeah,
poop.
LA's king of dog poop. It's only
Okay, did you really give yourself that?
Yeah, I gave myself the title. Why not? I've been doing it for 5 years, and I'm not saying I there's any there's no there's n- not saying that you're better at it than me,
Yeah.
but you haven't picked up more dog poop than me. So
Hmm.
that's why I took the title.
Yeah,
I probably picked up millions of dog poops in 5 years. And you're like, millions?
it's
Dog
probably
poops
so.
4 times a day,
Yeah.
sometimes on average. And we're servicing 80 homes weekly,
Yeah.
not including the ones that we serviced in the past and customers that have come and gone.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good title for me to have. There might be another king of dog poop in another town, but in LA, it's
Hmm.
gotta be me.
Mm.
Or it is me, actually.
Okay, no, that's good. But okay, of course, another like you said, using those hashtags, right?
Correct.
That's what you use because you've been doing this for so long,
Correct.
right? One of the maybe pioneers so far in that industry here,
Yeah.
right? So king
Take
of
a little
dog poop.
pride in it. I think a little too much. Well, not a little too much. You got to
That's
take pride in what you do, but
yeah.
definitely the king of dog poop in LA.
Mm.
I get calls from all sides of town,
Mm-hmm.
so there can't be no one else. You can't be the king if you're not servicing any homes.
Mm-hmm.
I've serviced a lot of parts of LA that
Yeah.
I don't service now, just to try. I would go, west side of LA just to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if it didn't make sense, well, it just didn't make sense. So I don't know, just gave me the title. Why not? Eventually I see myself as the king of dog poop in LA.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. I just wanted to bring that up there.
Yeah, that's me, man.
That's good.
I'll take the title.
Well deserved, huh?
Yeah, I've put in the work.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
challenge
For
anyone that
sure.
wants to take the title.
Good.
a,
Good.
a poop scoop off, huh?
So we have plans for a show on there or what?
Yeah, dude. Whoever wants to challenge me, well, let's do it. There's it's just not scooping poop. It's literally there's techniques to it.
Yeah,
There really is. It's as weird as it sounds.
that's good.
It's become a profession, and we're professionals at
Mm-hmm.
what we do and how we have to even maintain our equipment.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, so you said maintaining your equipment, right? You clean it up, make sure you don't get any bacteria if possible or anything
Yeah,
like
we
that,
have
right?
to
So,
wash down the equipment from house to house.
do you have to get any certifications from the state if you like, I mean, I know it's not hazardous waste per se, but anything from them?
Not that I've known of
because
or heard
because
of.
obviously you're not taking it with you, right,
Well,
or anything.
the thing is that if you don't hire me and you have a dog, where are you and you pick it up, where are you throwing it?
Yeah, no,
You
right,
know,
right.
so there's really no anyone could pick up dog poop.
Okay,
The kids do it, your grandpa does it.
right.
No one has to have a special title,
Okay,
not like you're cutting someone's hair.
bro.
Possibly in the near future, if this really the idea pops off, maybe someone will do it where you need a license because you're going to folks' homes. But as of
Mm-hmm.
now, even with gardening, they don't have to have a special license. I
Okay.
look at it like the pool guy, the gardener.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the same thing. We just provide a service. You don't really need a title
Mm-hmm.
well, certain services, but in our service,
No,
I'm going to say no title needed, no special license
it's
needed.
not. Yeah, not regulated by the state. I
No,
haven't got
the
involved.
state, I think the state wants us to pick up the dog poop because at the end it is hazardous. So we're
Mm-hmm.
actually helping out the environment.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually, I guess, an essential necessity
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of handicapped and disabled customers. So you figure if they didn't hire us, they'd have a lot of poop sitting there. The neighbors are smelling it. There's flies everywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't think the state will ever have a problem or require us to have a license just based on uh, we're
The
actually helping
source.
out
Yeah, I
versus
get you.
doing something that's gonna not help.
Right. Okay. I see.
Oh, crap.
You manage the business, right? You talk with clients. You do the scheduling. You run
No,
everything.
actually, my
No.
wife helps me out with the business too.
Okay. Who, if so, talks with like tax accountant or any of that sort? Because of course, running a business, you have many, facets of a business, but tax for it's very important. Who works closely and how often?
We have a CPA that does
You
all our
full
job.
time
Yeah,
CPA?
we have a full time CPA.
Okay,
So
that's good.
everything's reported. Everything's legit. How they call it.
No, no, no. Well,
Yeah,
okay, that because some small businesses
yeah.
don't have a full time CPA,
Oh
right?
no,
And
we do.
but they hire the CPA service.
Correct.
But but yet again, right? One thing could be CPA for income, revenue, expenses, and tracking all that by all
Correct.
means. But then other one could be at the end of the year or whatnot. What tax? You
Yeah,
know,
she's on us.
no, that's good.
She's handling even our payroll.
Okay,
So
that's very good.
it makes life easier just to hire someone to do that side of the business.
Hmm.
Mostly just do the marketing. My
Hmm.
wife works in cahoots with her,
Okay,
my accountant, and that's how we do it right
oh, that's good.
now.
That's good because if you navigate the taxes good enough, it comes into your favor
Yeah,
in that
it's
sense.
been
But
she's
that's why.
great.
But that's why. Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's
just
great.
okay. So good.
Since we started,
Mm,
we've always had a CPA.
wow.
Yeah, we've always had one since 2018.
Hmm.
And that's one thing that when I started, I knew I needed
Hmm.
someone to guide me and say, hey, this doesn't look right. Or maybe you spent too much money this year. Like, can you please justify it? And that was weird to justify it to someone who I didn't know. But everyone needs a CPA. I highly recommend you start a business, probably one of the best investments to make. Have someone to guide you, look at your books.
Hmm.
I highly recommend that.
Good. Good. That's good advice. That's good advice. How important are reviews for you?
Um, the reviews are good. I think they're important, but most people that are on Instagram don't look at reviews.
Hmm.
They're just looking at content. I
Mm-hmm.
think of our Yelp reviews are great, and some people go there just to justify if we're good at what we do or we're legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
But reviews, I'm gonna say we don't really worry about the reviews, or there hasn't been a point where it's not that we don't worry about it. They don't generate as many leads as my
Mm-hmm.
content would.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's fine. Okay, because some are more into that, but
Yeah,
some
it's
won't be affected by
correct. No, we don't. Most people,
uh-huh.
they give us a review, they'll give us a 5 star,
Yeah.
and some people are into that where they want to see that review.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our customers just call us because they need us. It's an emergency. They don't care about the review. They want us to clean.
Yeah.
So we do our job and it looks better than what they had, or it looks just amazing in their eyes where it's just clean, where you can almost walk barefoot. That's really what they just care about from my experience.
Yeah. That's fine.
Obviously, a review does help because someone's giving a good comment or possibly give you a bad comment, but the last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
we pretty much had 5 stars on every platform that gives reviews, whether it's Google or Yelp.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So I'm not going to say it's not bad to have great reviews. It does help out, but
Mm-hmm.
most people are looking at content.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where
That's
they're
where
at.
they get curious to say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, we saw some guys scooping poop. What do
Mm-hmm.
you guys do?" So it opens that open-ended question,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll let them know. And sometimes they hire us, and sometimes they just want to know what it was,
Yeah.
what the service was.
Okay. Right now, as of now, this new adventure that having this business, what is it? What has it given you?
Freedom.
Oh,
I
freedom.
value my time. I value not having to report. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
do whatever I have to do when I have to do it. That's what this business has given me.
Mm-hmm.
The time to spend time with my family, make my own schedule, not have to ask someone for vacation time. Now that we have employees or people that are helping us out with the business, I could go on a vacation and not have to worry about asking for permission. So I would say the freedom that this business has given me, that for me is time,
Mm-hmm.
which most people don't have, is time. Everyone that I know is always, that's not a business owner, or even business owners, they don't. I'm gonna say I value the freedom and the time that it gives me,
Yeah.
it more than
Well.
anything. Money's great, but to
Mm-hmm.
have that freedom is the best.
Yeah. We do have a limited amount of hours per day, and in this lifetime.
Yeah, so I like working Tuesday through Friday, and Monday through Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays are off. Obviously, as the business grows, maybe that'll change, but personally, me, I like that
Mm-hmm.
4 day work schedule.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up,
Got it.
right? Is there anything you like to add in about your business? Maybe we haven't touched on, or people may not know.
Oh, well, let me see. We're family owned.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Most people think that we're a big corporation, or I guess I've
Yeah.
marketed it big enough to where they don't think I'm the owner. They just think I'm the employee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're family owned. We're me and my wife are co-owners. We also do have other services that we do
Mm-hmm.
provide with the pet waste removal
Mm-hmm.
that I don't really post much of, which is like a pressure washing service.
Mm-hmm.
But most people don't know that one of my employees actually has autism,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been working with me for 2 years, and to him, was like Stinky Tails was like a blessing because he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't no one would hire him,
Yeah.
and to me, he's been a blessing
Mm-hmm.
because he's just so good at what he does. So besides that, there's a lot of stuff that Stinky Tails doesn't just provide a service, but we also help out the community. Me, my wife, or the guys that work with me have volunteered a lot. We've for the cities of Southgate, LA. We've donated supplies to community events like for the Kiwanis, or there's been times where we've actually don't even charge people for our service just because they need the help, or they're low on money, or
Hmm.
whatever their story is. So
Yeah.
we're not just about, I'm going to say, making our money. This has been, my business has showed me that I could help others by having my business.
Like what you do.
Yeah, people say dog poop, but we're providing, a peace of mind for some
Yeah.
customers. I have customers that can't even walk.
Yeah.
And when we show up, they're so happy because their dogs are getting taken care of,
Hmm.
their health is taken care of, and I never thought it'd be like that, where people look at us like that one service, like, wow, these guys are here to pick up dog poop.
Hmm.
But there's more to us than just picking up dog poop. Where there's more to our story. I would say it hasn't been easy. It's definitely been hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely been hard.
But that's what's about, right? It's an adventure. It's gonna be easy and it's gonna have good
Yeah,
times
it's
and it's
it's
gonna be
it's it's
hard and
definitely it's had its good and its bad.
yeah,
You know.
that's good. Okay, so we're gonna do some lightning round questions,
Okay.
right?
Cool.
Okay, so who do you admire and follow that influences your business mentality?
I would say my dad,
Hmm.
and I get emotional when I talk about this because we come from, I guess, blue collar,
Yeah.
hardworking family, and
Hmm.
my dad runs a baseball league, and I always see how he runs it.
Hmm.
So I would say, as as much as he doesn't play a part in my business, that's who I really look up to, because he's had a baseball league for about 20 years, but he doesn't treat it as a business.
Hmm.
But I guess it's kind of like a business. But I admire my dad. He's one of those people who created something out of nothing and kind of inspired me to create something out of nothing.
Hmm.
So I apologize for tearing up a little bit there, but that's who kind of who I follow, who
Hmm.
I say admire.
You look up to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
No, no, that's good. I mean, let it be family, and let it be that we
Yeah.
see
At the end of the
them,
day,
and that's good.
that's who I guess I've had as an example.
Yeah. Good that is so close to you, of course,
Yeah.
because sometimes we admire the people that are online, right? We have no close
Yeah.
direct
Someone that's
connection,
famous,
but
but
no, but to you, that's good, and
yeah, I see what he does with his baseball league,
hmm
and it's pretty cool.
that's good. That's very good. What is one thing that you have benefited from social media?
Mm, I guess the exposure, the
Hmm.
business exposure, it's really helped out. I think now we're in a new era where it's easy to be recognized, or
Hmm.
you could become really famous overnight just by someone sharing your video or your content. I've noticed that sometimes one of my videos could have 180,000 views just by someone just sharing it. So that's kind of what I've benefited from social media, is that free content. I guess you could
Yeah,
share whatever you want, and
yeah,
there's no charge.
yeah, right. Any books, articles, or even quotes that you have recently came by that you'd like to share with us?
Mm. My favorite quote that my buddy used to share with me: "Don't talk about it, be about it."
Right on.
Yeah, so that's my favorite one, man. Books, Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Mhm.
um, the Little Red Book of Sales. But
Mhm.
I think "Don't talk about it, be about it." It's where
Mhm.
it's really at with being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't talk about stuff. Do it.
Yeah. Talk the talk.
Talk is cheap, man.
Walk the walk. All right.
Walk the walk. There you go.
Okay, cool, man. What is your definition of wealth?
The definition of wealth for me would be freedom of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's wealth. Having my family with me, spending time with that means that's wealth to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, honestly. Everyone's wealth is
Yeah,
different.
that right, and that's why I ask. Everybody has a different perspective on that, and that's good. Yeah. Okay. What advice would you give a younger you?
Don't listen to the negativity. Keep your path. I heard so many people tell me, "Why are you gonna pick up dog poop?"
Mm-hmm.
I never listened to them. Some people I did,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's held me back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But don't listen to the negativity. That's all I could really think of.
Yeah. Okay. And which one do you choose? Coffee or tequila?
Coffee.
Yeah. You, yeah, that's fine. We all
Not much
need
of a
it.
drinker, man, but I'll
No,
drink
no.
some coffee.
Okay.
Give me a caramel macchiato or something.
By all means, then that's all good. And one last thing, where can people reach Stinky Tails?
You could reach us on Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, Google, TikTok, our business line,
Your website?
our website now, stinkytails.com. Pretty much we're on every form of social media, or it's really not that hard to find us. You put
Okay.
Stinky Tails, we're putting pretty
Yeah.
much coming up on top.
Okay. Awesome. Well, okay. Cesar Moreno, I appreciate your time.
Thank you too. Appreciate your time as well.